Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Here I am, guys, bringing up the rear, the last of your Serie A Chronicles correspondents to report this week on an Italian team losing in Europe. Amazing work by me in a week when only one Italian team lost, to find that team and be at that game, completing the trio for us after both Italian clubs playing in the Champions League this week lost on Tuesday and Wednesday night, as you've heard about in previous voice notes. Of course, this is a very different context. Roma lost the leg away to Brighton, but they'd won 4-0 in the home leg, so it was never really a night when it felt like that was in jeopardy. Really fun experience. I've lived in Brighton now for, I'm not even sure if it's 6 years, 7 years. I can't do maths in my head. But I had not got to go and watch any of their European games on this adventure they've been on with Roberto De Zerbi. So it was always going to be a treat to get to go down there to the Amex Stadium and just see them play in Europe. Even more of a treat that it was for a game against Roma. Really sort of fun experience right from the top. I was on the train to the stadium with lots of Brighton fans, as you'd expect, and there was a lot of "we're going to win 5-0" chants, some Forza Lazio chants. There was chants of just like Brighton, your city is blue, which I guess was leaning into that same teasing support of Lazio. They were. And I think this reflects the fan base, which certainly came into this competition without great expectations, even though Brighton have played some great football. It's not, again, a team in a city that expects to be in the latter stages of these competitions. This is all new for most of these fans to get to go on these trips to places like Amsterdam, Marseille, as they have this season, and Rome. And so there was a lot of enjoyment in it. But then you got to the ground, and I have to say, and actually, before I get into this, there was a brilliant banner which I missed inside the stadium. I was a little bit late getting up to my seat, actually. Made it up there by kickoff, but was cutting a bit finer than I meant to. But there was a banner that I saw shared on social media, because, as lots of you would have seen in Rome, there was a crude message from Roma supporters about the Queen and her bedroom habits. A little bit, I don't know, I mean, everyone's welcome to make fun of the Queen, but maybe a little bit sexist it felt. But anyway, the comeback from Brighton fans tonight, doing a banner in Italian. I haven't got it in front of me, but I think the way they'd worded it was Totti adora l'ananas sulla pizza. So Totti adores pineapple on pizza, which I thought was a very humorous and like well-aimed, funny without crossing the wrong kind of lines jab back. I enjoyed it a lot and felt very proud to be a Brightonian, as that is where I live now. It's a city with good humour. It was an interesting experience, and to go on from that, I have to say, for a team 4-0 down in the tie, it was a really good atmosphere in the stadium. It was absolutely full to the rafters. Again, with those chants of "we're going to win 5-0, you can't tell there's a bit of joking and maybe perhaps a little bit of wishful thinking that it won't turn out to be a joke. But there was certainly through the first half, it felt like a real tension, a real desire to see their team push on and test Roma. And Danny Welbeck's goal, when it arrived in the 37th minute, there was a moment where it felt like maybe this would open things up in the tie. Roma came with a pretty clear plan to not overexert themselves and to try to just play out the time and not risk anything. I think the fact that you had Dybala, El Shaarawy, Paredes on the bench meant that those tools were there waiting for you, but spoke to the fact that perhaps that 4-0 lead was perceived as a pretty comfortable one. It did feel like the first half hour of the game, they were very much looking to just kill time and not push things. I thought the referee did a pretty good job, Felix Desvaya, of showing some cards to stop from time wasting, actually. But Roma were doing a good job of just playing out the string, it felt like, until Welbeck scored that goal and just gave Brighton that little bit of hope. I think what I would say is, well, Roma were doing a reasonable job of killing time. You definitely felt the absence of those players up front. They were looking to draw Brighton on, and of course it's a pretty obvious trap to try and set to a De Zerbi team to invite them on and then look for options on the counter. And Tommaso Baldanzi, I know Patrick's a fan and I hope to see good things from him going forward, but it wasn't a particularly impressive performance for him. I thought that he was looked for a few times to be that outlet and wasn't very successful with it. Spinazzola was the one out of everyone, I felt like, on the other side who was at least doing some work. And there was, actually I should say it as well, at 0-0, a goal that looked like a perfectly good goal to me, to be honest with you, from Azmoun. It didn't particularly feel like it was one of those inevitable goals. It was one of those moments when Roma had got forward and a goal happens rather than the inevitable byproduct of the way the game is going. But it was a really nicely taken overhead kick and one of those classic disallowed for high boot goals that I find very frustrating. I find the high boot rule in general very frustrating because I feel like it's only applied when a defender lowers their head towards the boot. So it's often less about how high the boot is and more about how low the defender's head is. Having said that, I could see a one replay on a tiny monitor in the press seats. I didn't get a great second look at it, and I'm giving you this voice note without having watched the highlights or anything like that. So all my impressions just based on what I saw in the stadium. But yeah, Welbeck's goal, brilliant. Brighton in the second half certainly threw everything they had at Roma. I thought they were sort of impressive to a point. Definitely Ansu Fati came in, had his chance. There were a few chances in that second half, but it never felt to me like any of them were really brilliant chances. Jean-Paul Van Heck had one as well, didn't he? And to me, it never felt like any of those chances individually looked like they were going to end in a goal.
Head to SerieAchronicles.com/Patreon now and subscribe to the Chronicles Tifosi Patreon membership with a free 7-day trial. Get early access to every full-length episode and voice note before the rest of the world. Plus, all episodes are 100% ad-free. And you get bonus Patreon-only exclusive episodes, video episodes, and behind-the-scenes extras. Also, be sure to join the new chat community in the Patreon app and chat with fellow subscribers.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.